All right, welcome. Today I have an interview with one of the guys who was in my program in 2018. His name is Spencer. Could you tell a bit more about you, Spencer?
Sure. Hi, Alex. Good to be on here. And first of all, just want to put it out there that, if you're watching this video, keep watching, watch till the end, because for me, one of the biggest issues that I had was that I wouldn't admit it. I'm a doctor and also I'm a coach. I work with Bob Proctor. And for me, it was something I didn't want to admit. I didn't want to admit that there was a problem. I thought kind of if I ignored it, it would just kind of go away. So for me, the first step was admitting that there was a problem. And then the next step was deciding that I wanted to do something about it. And I know that this is something that a lot of people will be struggling with, struggling with first admitting that there's a problem, because it almost, I think in society these days, there is a stigma around people balding, certainly if it happens when you're quite young. And then, another thing around actually doing something about it. For me, it's strange, but it's something I experienced myself. So I just wanted to let people know, if you're watching this video, keep watching, because, it's really valuable and it's made a huge difference to me. So for me, yes, it was amazing to get to know you and to I think for me, what really interested me was the fact that you had results yourself. I always work with people who can show through results that they know what they're doing, right? So this is why I work with Bob Proctor, and because he's shown through results that he knows what he's talking about. So that was why, I jumped on with you, and that was in late 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
And how was the things before? How do you notice your hair loss and hair thinning?
Yeah, very, very good question. I mean, the first time I noticed it was when I saw photos of myself that other people had taken from the back. It wasn't something I had even thought of. My baldness was mainly at the back, developing at the back. And of course, I was having a bit of receding hairline here in the front. But the main part of it was at the back. So this was then something that was a bit of a shock for me initially, because I never thought it would happen to me. And then from there on, I went through the phase of denying it, right? And being like, hey, but I'm this big guy, I'm not going to go bald, seriously, like, no. And then you just ignore it. And then, then I started looking at myself and checking myself, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, right? And then you just got to get to that point where you say, damn it, I've had enough, and I just got to do something about this, right? And that's when I found you on Facebook, which was excellent.
Mm. And how many years went by with the denial, or like at what age did your hair loss kind of started? Could you tell a bit more about
that?
Yeah,
so I'm 43 now, and I think I noticed it when I was 39, and I think unfortunately I was in denial for probably a year and a half.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. A long time. And then you just kind of decided to take action, right?
So for me, again, it's just work that I do with Bob Proctor and becoming aware of it myself. I was like, dude, this is what you teach other people. Like, what are you doing? Just make a decision. And then I was like, well, it's here and it's happening. So let's deal with it, right? Sticking your head in the sand is not going to work. And for me, I used a combination then of mindset and your help to help improve the results. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm. And just to ask you, before you started with working with me, what kind of other things you tried before jumping off my program?
So it's interesting. I hadn't really tried anything apart from I had got some online a Regaine foam, just applying that myself. But again, that wasn't helping. And that also, made me feel more drive to find out more. And this is another thing that I've now learned is, that we need to make sure that we find mentors, right? We find people who have gotten the results that we want, and then what we want to do is we want to pay them money. And we want to spend time with them so that we can save money and save time, or save our hair in this instance, as well as money, right? Because you may go down the routes of hair transplants or all sorts of other things that may not be necessary at this stage.
And did you consider hair transplantation, or like just to?
No, for me it wasn't bad. It wasn't at that stage. So for me, it wasn't something that I entertained. So I, you know, for me that wasn't something that I would do. I thought that there's got to be another way, and something that's less invasive.
Right, right. And other treatments like PRP and cell therapy, or?
Never even heard of them, so I'm not
Okay.
sure what that is.
You said you found me on Facebook.
Yes.
Did you watch my YouTube videos, or?
Yeah, so I saw you on Facebook. I watched your YouTube videos. I saw the photos of you, you know, and I think that's brilliant that you got those photos where you were going through the phases, I think, of initially denial as well. And then, you know, I guess a bit of hopelessness. And then you made the decision that you were going to do something about it. And, you know, then you got onto researching it. And I think for me, this was also such a huge part. And I think so many people have this same concern is, who do you believe, right? There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of information. And also what can happen suddenly is you can start to research it, and then that actually makes you have analysis paralysis, right? You have too much information.
Sure.
And for me, I trusted you. I had a good feel from you. I used my intuition a lot. Again, you know, you're a normal guy. You've gone through the process yourself. You can see your results. So for me, then I just decided to put my faith in your help, right? And for you to help me rather than trying to do it myself by finding out all sorts of different bits of information all over the place. I think that in a way was actually making me feel worse. Mm-hmm. So I then blocked out everything else and I just worked with you.
Yeah, right. No, I think it's very helpful to have a plan, right? Because if you kind of search on the internet different solutions, it is you don't know what is working and what to expect and what kind of how much and how long. All those things are kind of important. And over the years, I would say hair loss and solving hair loss is a strategy. And by having a plan and structure and knowing what you need to do, exact steps, it makes it so much easier actually to just do it. Follow those steps. Okay, cool. And what would you say about my program? And it was like when you were taking my program, it was I would say like a first edition of my program, right? Now it's completely different, but it's still working for you. So what would you say about it?
So for me, I think the program was great. I think it's good to know what to do. I think it's good to have steps. You know, and this is again something that I do in my own business with personal development and private coaching, is that there's a lot of knowledge out there, but what you want is knowledge to be in an ordered process, right? That can be delivered to you, that you can go through in an orderly fashion, rather than a YouTube video here and a bit here and an article there and speaking to this person and this, that. It's all what we call specialized knowledge, but it's all jumbled all over the place. Whereas with you, you know, it was one source of information, and then it was a program that you go through that you know that you're going to go from point A to point Z, right? Which is where you want to be. So for me, that was again something that ticks the box as far as what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yes. And let's fast move to today. How things are different regarding here and
yeah. So for me, you know, I'm sure people can see the effects. You know, the hair is much thicker. I'm on Facebook, so if you want to go through my posts, you can see. You know, 2-3 years ago, I was definitely thinning in the front, and I didn't have as much hair here as well. And what you don't see is that, you know, I was starting to develop a bald patch at the back here. Which is certainly not something that I wanted. And right now my hair is fantastically much better. You know, for me also what was interesting was that I was using Regaine, and unfortunately for me, Regaine didn't do much, and 9 months I'd say now, and the results are markedly different and improved. And I know that over the next, you know, 9 to 18 months, I think it's, you know, I believe it's going to go back to normal. I'm going to go back to where I was before I started losing hair.
The results you get like 9 months, 1 year, they are still going to improve up to 2 years before you actually reach maximum potential, as long as you stick to the treatment, right?
So this is again something that was lucky with, not lucky, but something that's good with me is that I'm very disciplined. And so for me, I am meticulous about following your program and doing the things that you say. For me also, it's important if you're going to do something and you want to see whether you get results. Well, if you do it exactly the way you're supposed to do it, you can then check whether you get results. And you can then say, well, I've done it the way it's supposed to be and I've got results. Okay, it works. I've done it the way it's supposed to be and I haven't got results. It doesn't work. But if you don't do it the way that it's supposed to be and you don't get results, well, you don't know whether it doesn't work or you didn't do it properly, right? And again, if you don't do it the way that it's supposed to be done and you're getting results, you don't know what's getting you the results. So for me, it's very important. People who come into your program, they just need to create the discipline and the daily routine of doing it properly.
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so interesting when you're developing baldness and you're developing baldness at the back, primarily, you become very aware of who's behind you. And, you know, if you're sitting down somewhere and people are walking around, then you become aware of that people may be looking at your bald spot, right? Because I guess this is what we do ourselves as well, right? It's again just one of those societal things. So for me now, I'm much more comfortable. I'm more confident, definitely. And I mean, already I was confident prior to that, but this, you know, really helped me with my confidence. And it's just something that for me has made a big, big difference. So I'm very, very grateful for your help, and I'm grateful for the program, and I'm grateful for the results. It's been great, and I'm grateful that I made that decision to do something about it, and then I've, you know, gone and done something about it.
Awesome, Spencer. Okay, and if somebody wants to look your pictures, you mentioned Facebook page 3 years ago, how they can search you up?
So if they just search Spencer Pool, and my first name is SPENCERPOOL, pool, like a swimming pool, I'm there, and they can see, you know, if they track back. But I'm also happy for you to share photos, you know, that I've shared with you, with people, if they want to see the results. I'm not sure if you can see here. I'm not sure if you can see well, but I mean, the back is much, much better. You know, results speak for themselves. You know, I'm a credible person. You can see as well with that, you know, one of Bob Proctor's top 1% consultants. I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't true. So for me, it's made a big difference.